And my guest is Ashley Clark, and we're going to talk about International Women's Day. Good to see you again.
I know, here we are again.
And every year we talk about this. The Italo-Canadian Club puts on a great event. So what's on the agenda this year?
So we're trying something new this year. So normally we would do like a Sunday kind of lunchtime meal, or like high tea was last year. This year we're actually switching it to a Saturday evening networking event with the usual many vendors, local women, and we're doing live entertainment this year, so some live music performances by a local musician at Tiari and the Greater Kingston Chorus, and we're also doing the fashion show, of course, which we're known for every year, and we've got like live food stations, cocktails, so it's meant more of kind of a cocktail style networking event with live entertainment thrown in, and yeah, it's going to be a really fun time.
It is. It's the way things used to be back in the day prior to 2020 when everything changed. So it's getting more into that kind of vibe. I used to love those events when I was in business. And tell me about the music again. I'm not aware of these groups.
Yeah, so Atiari is a really cool musician. I think she does a lot of work in Musiki Cafe. And we kind of found her just from looking for local musicians online, and she performed really well. And it turns out she's also a teacher at Long and McQuaid, who is one of our sponsors this year. So they're actually sponsoring her performance, which is really awesome. And yeah, and the Greater Kingston Chorus is pretty well known. They've been around for a very long time. A great group of women that do like a cappella, barbershop style singing. So they're a group of, I think we have about 20 to 30 of them coming to sing at this event, which will be really cool.
And then you've got all different food stations. So you're the event coordinator. You're the chief honcho when it comes to the kitchen. What kind of food?
So we're doing a really nice charcuterie station. So it'll be a nice big table of all sorts of deliciousness. And then Chef Chris had offered to do a live food station. So he's going to be cooking gnocchi like at the event right there where people can see it. He'll be cooking up gnocchi nice and fresh, and they'll be able to have samples of it. So it'll be really nice.
That sounds like a really nice evening. How much are the tickets?
They're $50 a person, but that includes taxes and fees and a complimentary cocktail on us, the sample of the gnocchi, the charcuterie station. You'll get to shop with all the vendors and see the fashion show and the live music, and we've got over $3,500 in like prizes and silent auction packages as well, so it's well worth it for sure.
Well, one year I won one of the door prizes, and
you sure did.
I sure did. It was a photo session with you because you're a professional photographer.
Yeah, I'm throwing in one of those again. I'm going to throw it into the silent auction this year. So yeah, I run my own Ashley Taylor Media Photography. So yeah, each year I usually donate like a free photo shoot for people to win, like you.
It was in my backyard, and it was we had a lot of fun.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, you're very good at what you do, and love what you turned out. And
thank you.
Yeah, it was super. So International Women's Day goes back, more than 100 years.
Yeah.
Started in Europe, as I understand it. So here we are, 100 years forward. Do we still need International Women's Day?
I think we do, yeah. I think there's definitely been a ton of progress in the 100 years, but there's also still a lot of obstacles in the way for women, and it's great to kind of throw on these events to remind people that women are here to take charge. And there's been a lot of really cool movements this year, like with the movie Barbie and all the topics that it kind of addresses in that. And so yeah, I think there's a lot of strides that are being made, but definitely still lots of room for improvement.
Well, you know, thinking back, when it started, 1911, I think, something in there, we didn't even have the vote.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about.
Yeah, women weren't allowed to own property, and that's how they got around it. They'd say, well, of course, it wasn't just women who couldn't vote, it was non-property owners were not allowed to vote. So it went beyond that, but women just couldn't own property, so therefore they couldn't vote, so what's your problem kind of thing. So when you think about the strides that we've made, but I don't know, then I hear stories that some things haven't changed at all, and I kind of wonder about that too.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of kind of breaking the traditional mindsets and the social stigmas that are attached to women, and yeah, there's a lot that definitely can be done still.
You know, just thinking back in my lifetime, we went from, you were you maybe work right after school. In my case, working class, university was only for wealthy people. It certainly was a waste to educate a girl. That was the thinking, because she'll only just get married and have babies, and then her education will be wasted, was the thinking. So that was out, and you had a choice of being either a secretary or a nurse.
Or a teacher.
Or a teacher. Those were your choices.
Yep.
None of them that paid very well in those days either. And but it was only supposed to be for a few years. And I got married very young. I was only 19 when I got married, and I was not considered all that young at the time. When I think back, it was kind of a scary time when I think back of how young I was.
Yeah.
But that was not even unusual.
Yeah, I definitely know my mom was young as well when she was married and had me, and I know when I turned that age, I was like, oh my God, I cannot imagine starting a family this young. Like, I've barely lived. I don't know what I'm doing with my career yet. Like, yeah, it's crazy to think of all the women who started their lives so suddenly.
Yeah, really. And I look at a 19-year-old now, and I think, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. But it's what you did.
Yeah.
And as I said, I wasn't even considered all that young either at the time. It's, so that's improved. From the work point of view, how do you think things have changed? Improved?
In like
they?
work? Yeah, actually, I did want to actually touch on the career thing, because as you know, we usually do an Inspirational Woman Award each year for this event. And our top 3 nominees this year, 2 out of 3 of them are in STEM.
Oh.
So they're in the science realm. Like, I don't know if both of them are at Queen's University. I know at least one of them is. And they're working in STEM, and they're both advocating to get more women in STEM.
Oh,
so it's
boy.
really cool to see 2 people like that are really kind of fighting for these really important career paths that women should be able to take, and to have resources for that, which is really cool.
In case someone's not sure what STEM is, it's science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
Yeah, I think you got it. I was thinking too. I'm like, what were the 4 things again? Yeah,
right.
You got it.
yeah, because it was considered women just naturally weren't cut out for those kinds of things, and when you're told that from your early life, of course you don't even think that you might want to become an engineer or a mathematician or any of those things. So that's changed, and I think there's a lot more women enrolling in those fields.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah, from the work that these 2 women are doing, it's really cool.
It is. It's great. Yeah. So tell me about that award. I'd forgotten about that part of it.
Yeah, I know. I almost forgot as well. But yeah, it is a really important part of the event. The whole purpose of it is to really kind of get the community to recognize the really inspirational women in our community. So I think back in January, we put out the call for nominations and said, hey, everybody has inspiring women in their lives. Let's nominate some really, really amazing women. And so we get numerous nominations, and we sit down as an event committee, and we narrow them down to a top 3 based on like the International Women's Day theme of the year, which is inclusion, and just like the qualities that the nominations show. So this year's top 3, we have Ainsley Latour, Chrisana Williams Massey, and I don't know if I'm saying that properly, and then Erica Kramer. So Ainsley is like a scientist, an author, and an educator, and she's starting up her own business to kind of bring inclusivity into the STEM fields and into the realms like that for people with disabilities. And Chrisana is a Black woman in STEM who's advocating for Black youth and women to come into the STEM field, like I said. And then Erica Kramer is the manager at the East End Starbucks, and she just spreads joy, like, to everybody. There have been so many comments about her spreading so much joy in that community and holding these initiatives to really include people with exceptionalities and developmental disabilities, and she's created roles at the stores for these people. And yeah, it's just really inspiring to read all these 3 stories. You can go on our website and read about them and vote for like who you think should win this year.
You feel good just reading their stories.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It doesn't matter who wins.
No.
You feel, we all win because we read their stories. So in the couple of minutes we have left, give me the details again. It is on International Women's Day. It is going to be held on Saturday,
March 9th from 5 to 9 p.m. Come for the food, the cocktails, the music, the entertainment, the fashion show, the silent auction, and we're raising funds as well for 3 nonprofits this year. We usually only partner with one. This year, because it was more vendor focused, we wanted 3 community booths to be there. So we're bringing in Dress for Success, which I think many people locally know, Dawn House as well, which is a big one, and MRKH Canada. So
What's that one?
MRKH Canada is a nonprofit that advocates for people with MRKH syndrome. So it affects 1 in 5,000 females. It's a reproductive condition.
All right, 3 good charities on top of everything else.
Yeah.
Get out there and support it, and tickets are $50
Yeah,
a
$50
person.
per person.
And they can go online.
Yeah, right
just-
to our website, or they can give us a call at the Italian Club.
And that's where it's being held, the
Yes.
Italian Club. All righty, so just Google International Women's Day, Kingston 2024. It'll take you there.
I sure hope so.
Thanks for coming in and telling me
Thanks so
about
much,
it.
Donna.